Okay, we are now recording. So, good morning, everyone. Our topic for this week is all about the CPD or Continuing Professional Development and Continuing Professional Education Program implemented in the Philippines. So, this is a mandatory requirement in order for you to renew your professional license. So, what is the purpose of having CPD or CPE? Bakit ba natin kailangan munang mag-undergo na mga continuing professional education na 'yan bago tayo makapag-renew ng license, 'di ba? So, because we are all professionals and then of course our field is medical technology or medical laboratory science, as we all know, when it comes to science and technology, all of that will continually improve and change over time, 'di ba? So nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na progress and innovation, okay? And because of those progress and innovation happening in science or within science and technology, it is very important for professionals like you to be up to date with the different innovations in our field, 'di ba? Kasi nga science tayo, 'di ba? Science. So talagang magbabago 'yan. May mga teknolohiya talaga na dumarating sa buhay natin, 'di ba? 'Yun. So that's why it is very important that you must be knowledgeable sa mga current trends in related to our practice. Kaya nga naman, even after you graduate, you still have to undergo some form of education, whether it is formal or informal. Kaya nga tinatawag dyan na professionals should be lifelong learners, wherein you will be up to date with the different knowledge and skills relevant to the time. Okay? So, lahat ng naaral natin ngayon sa school, ito ay, ano lang ito eh, ito yung mga foundation natin, di ba? Ito yung mga basic natin. Pagdating natin sa industry, kapag graduate na kayo, may lisensya na kayo, you will learn so much more. Especially if you work abroad, di ba? Iba yung mga teknolohiya doon. Okay? And then, ang purpose nito, kung bakit may ganitong batas sa ating bansa is that to make sure that all of our professionals are competent, 'di ba? To ensure the competency of our professionals. And then this is also related to globalization. Because as we all know, in the Philippines, 'di ba? What is one of our great export product? Ano ba yung mga ini-export ng Pilipinas? Tao, 'di ba? Yung mga tao, we export people. 'Di ba? We provide manpower to first world countries. Right? Yun, mga metek nag-a-abroad, pupunta sa US, sa Canada, sa UK, 'di ba? And then if you work abroad, dapat definitely yung skills mo dapat ano rin, at par with the standards required sa abroad. Okay? And then we have here an organization in our region, the ASEAN organization, di ba? Wherein the ASEAN Economic Community or the AEC, this is the regional integration and mobility of professionals in the region. So ibig sabihin daw diyan, yung mga professionals in the region, they can work in countries within the ASEAN. 'Di ba? So kapag gusto mong magtrabaho sa ibang bansa, sa Asian country, basta member ng ASEAN po pwede. Kasi nga, yung skills mo, yung knowledge mo, up to their level. Okay? And then you also have the ASEAN Qualifications Reference Framework. This is the one that enables comparison of educational qualifications across ASEAN member states. That is why senior high school was implemented in the Philippines. Kasi dati walang senior high school sa Pilipinas. Pero sa ibang bansa, meron silang senior high school. Ngayon, since sa ASEAN, kailangan natin mag-integrate sa kanila para nga naman, just in case pumunta sila dito or magpunta kayo sa mga bansa nila, pare-pareho tayo ng educational qualification. Okay? Now, this is also part of maintenance, enhancement, and extension of knowledge, expertise, and competence of professional. So these are the purpose why you are undergoing CPD or CPE. Okay? So according to the law, nakalagay dyan is what is the nature of the CPD program. So the CPD program consists of activities that range from structured to non-structured activities. When you say structured activities, ito yung may guidelines, ito yung mayroong syllabus or curriculum na kailangang sundan. Yung mga non-structured activities, ito yung mga trainings lang and workshop na kailangan nating aralin. Okay? Which have learning processes and outcomes, but this include but not limit to the following. Number one is formal learning. So when you say formal learning, ito yung schooling natin na meron kang formal certificate. For example, you decide to pursue master's degree, master in medical technology or medical laboratory science, diba? Or you want to pursue a doctorate degree, PhD. That's an example of formal learning. Yung mga non-formal learning na yan, informal learning, example dito, yung mga attending workshops, diba? Workshop on something na special like workshop on how to perform urinalysis or workshop on how to perform seminalisis, 'di ba? 'Yun ang mga example. Okay? And then mga self-directed learning naman, ito yung mga activities na pinupuntahan mo, yung mga seminars na you attend that is actually not provided by the accredited CPD provider in the Philippines. Kasi class, yung mga CPD na yan, it is being provided by PAMIT, our professional organization. And there are also some other organizations that are accredited by PRC that will provide the CPD. Maraming organization pa class, hindi lang PAMIT, okay? Ngayon, kung ikaw, nag-attend ka sa isang training na hindi naman provided ng PAMIT or provided ng any accredited organization, pero related siya sa field natin, it is part of that self-directed training. Okay? Initiative mo yon. Now, kasama rin ng mga online training and activities, 'di ba? Yan ang uso ngayon, mga online seminar. And of course, professional work experience, kasama rin 'yan. So those are the different activities under the CPD programs. Ano ba ang benefits of CPD? So it is beneficial to the person and also to the organization connected to the person. So beneficial siya para sa'yo and beneficial din sa ospital na pagtatrabahuhan mo in the future, 'di ba? Because as a person, kung sa'yo ang pag-uusapan, whenever you attend a seminar or a training, you gain confidence, 'di ba? For example, training 'yan, specializing in PCR technique or molecular biology, 'di ba? So pagpasok mo sa ospital kapag nag-perform ka na ng mga tests about PCR or DNA test, meron kang confidence kasi nga nag-train ka eh. Meron kang formal certificate na ikaw ay competent mag-conduct ng DNA testing, 'di ba? So that's an example. And since you have a credibility, since meron ka palang certificate, that certificate can give you credibility. So kapag nag-apply ka ng trabaho, you can actually claim na you are skilled medical technologist in molecular biology. Kasi klase hindi lahat ng medtech ngayon during this time, hindi lahat ng medtech na nagtatrabaho sa mga ospital ay marunong ng PCR. Okay? So kung meron kang certificate of training, meron kang credibility. Now, showcases achievements, of course, useful for appraisals. When you say appraisals, pwede mong i-bargain yung sarili mo pagdating sa mga salary increase. Kasi kunyari sa ospital na pinagtatrabahuhan mo, ikaw lang ang marunong ng ganyang skill, di ba? Wala nang ibang marunong niya, ikaw lang ang may license niyan. So, pwede ka mag-bargain na, taasan mo naman yung sweldo ko kasi ako lang naman yung expert niyo dito. Pwede yon. Okay? And then, achieves career goals by focusing on training and development, copes positively with changes by constantly updating knowledge and skills. Siyempre, hindi ka nahuhuli, di ba? Kasi nga naman, kahit may bagong dumating dyan na technology in your laboratory, meron kang updated knowledge and skills on how to process that or how to operate that new machine or new technology. Okay? It also improves productivity and efficiency by reflecting the learning and highlighting the gaps in knowledge and experience. So, makakatulong din ito class sa mga newly grad. Kasi 'di ba, kapag newly grad ka, wala ka pang masyadong work experience, right? 'Yon. So, kunyari newly grad ka, gusto mong maging expert or gusto mong matuto on how to perform HIV testing. You want HIV proficiency knowledge, 'di ba? And experience. Then you can go to San Lazaro Hospital sa Sakil. Pwede kang mag-apply doon ng training for HIV proficiency, 'di ba? So you're going to have an experience on how to conduct HIV testing, right? So para ito sa mga newly grad din na wala pang masyadong experience na gusto nila mag-fast track sila sa mga learning. Yung mga in preparation for for going abroad. Okay? Ano naman ang benefits sa organization na connected ka? Of course, it will maximize the staff's potential. 'Di ba? Kasi nga naman, since well-trained yung mga staff na yan, magiging maganda flow ng trabaho sa laboratory. It also helps the employees to set smart objectives, promote staff development, adds value for reflecting, helps staff to consciously apply learning to their role and the organization development, linking to appraisals or help employees focus their achievement throughout the year. So in summary class, kapag ikaw ay isang ospital that provides training to the employees, then definitely your employees will be competent and up to date. Magkakaroon sila ng mga well set skills na updated na kailangan sa panahon. Okay, yun lang naman yung pinaka-benefit diyan. So, bakit dito sinabi din yung benefits to the organization? Kasi class, in the Philippines kasi, it is really encouraged that the organization itself where the staff is working should provide the CPD training. Bakit gano'n? Kasi bakit sa Pilipinas encourage? Kasi sa ibang bansa sa ibang bansa, yung mga trainings and seminars na 'yan, talagang binibigay 'yan ng mga ospital. And then the staff does not pay anything. Wala silang ginagastos. Sa Pilipinas, papaano bang ang nangyayari sa Philippines? Ano ba yung picture sa Philippine setting? So ganito yung class. So after you graduate, 'di ba, may license ka na, right? Para makapag-renew ka ng yung license na 'yan, valid lang siya for 3 years, 3 years only, okay? So, para makapag-renew ka ng license after 3 years, kailangan meron kang completed CPD units, 'di ba? 45 units ang kailangan mo. Ngayon, ibig sabihin nun per year, dapat naka-complete ka ng 15 units per year. So, para makakuha ka ng CPD units, you have to attend trainings and seminars. Yang trainings and seminars na yan, is it free? No, it's not free. Okay? So, magkano ba ang gastos dyan? Yung PAMIT convention na yearly na ginagawa, minsan complete siya, minsan hindi siya complete na CPD units. Diba? Minsan nasa 30 units lang siya, minsan nasa 45 units. So, ang presyo niya, aabot niya ng mga 8,000 pesos. Diba? Yon. So, yung iba naman na mga trainings and seminars lang diyan, depende yan kasi kung anong klaseng training and seminar eh. Minsan naabot siya ng 2,000 pesos, 3,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos and all. So, yun ang reason kung bakit ang mga medtech, hirap na hirap sila makakuha ng CPD units in the Philippines. Kasi nga, it's not free, right? It's not free. So, sa ibang bansa, ang setup nila doon, lalo sa Amerika, yung kada isang ospital, most of the hospital, 'di ba? They provide CPD trainings for their hospital staff. And then, yung hospital staff nila, free. Walang binabayaran. Bakit walang binabayaran? Kasi, the trainings are subsidized by the government. May budget ang government dyan na binibigay sa mga ospital para mag-provide sila ng training sa kanilang mga staff. In the Philippines, walang binibigay na budget. So by the way, bakit ba kailangan kasi magbayad sa Pilipinas? Bakit yung medtech staff kailangan pang magbayad for that trainings and seminar? Well, wala naman kasi talagang libre. Kasi unang-una, for example, nag-attend ka ng specialty training for for operation ng isang bagong makina, 'di ba? Kunyari may bagong makina na darating, 'di ba? 'Yon. So sino ba 'yung magtuturo sa ng bagong makina na 'yan? Definitely an expert coming from the manufacturer. Saan ba ginagawa 'yung mga machine? Sa ibang bansa. For example, galing yan sa Germany, 'di ba? So, 'yung tao from Germany lilipad yan papuntang Pilipinas. So, sasagutin ng ospital yung flight, 'di ba? From Germany to the Philippines. Magkano na 'yon, 'di ba? Tapos yung professional fee pa nung tao na magsasalita, na magko-conduct ng training, right? And then, yung machine itself, gagastusan nila yan kasi transport nila yan eh. Yung mga reagents and chemicals sa machine yan, lahat yan may bayad, 'di ba? That's why, sa ibang bansa, subsidize ang CPD. Okay? In the Philippines, hindi siya subsidized. Walang budget ang government to provide education to the professionals. Pero mandated siya ng government, okay? Nasa batas siya na kapag hindi ka nag-attend ng CPD, hindi ka makaka-renew ng license mo, 'di ba? Kailangan siya, mandated siya. Just in case hindi mo makumpleto yung CPD units, pwede ka namang magpirma doon na yung parang document of undertaking. Ibig sabihin noon, you are promising that sa next renewal mo, you'll be able to complete na yung mga CPD units. So in short, wala ka talagang takas. Kailangan mo talagang gumastos coming from your own pocket because the government does not subsidize it. Okay? So yun ang situation in the Philippines. And then, ang situation sa ibang bansa, iba rin naman. 'Di ba? Yun. Now, ano ba ang legal basis nito? Bakit ganoon? Mandated tayo, 'di ba? So sabi dito, when you say CPE or continuing professional education, This refers to training which is linear and formal. Training objectives are focused on learning a particular skill or set of skills to improve professional competence. Whereas when you say CPD, this refers to the continuing professional development. This refers to the development of one's knowledge, skills, and attitude significantly relevant to capability and competency in his or her profession. So meron ba sila pinagkaiba? Actually, they are being used interchangeably, 'di ba? Kasi nga naman when you say CPE, nagte-train ka, 'di ba? Nag-attend ka ng seminar, nag-training ka, natuto ka. Yung outcome na natuto ka, ito na yung CPD, nagkaroon ka ng development, 'di ba? You're able to gain significant capability and competency as a result of the education that you got, 'di ba? Yon. So interchangeably sila. So nagsisimula mo na sa CPE na nagte-train ka, nag-aaral ka, tapos yung outcome na nagkaroon ka na ng skills, knowledge, meron ka ng capability, competency, yun yung tinatawag na development na. Na-develop ka na daw. Okay? Yon. So, ano yung mga legal basis natin? Nagsimula yan sa EO number 266 or the institutionalization of the continuing professional education programs of various professional regulatory boards under the supervision of the Professional Regulation Commission. So, nagsimula siya noong panahon pa ni Fidel V. Ramos. So, matagal na yun. 90s pa nagsimula ang CPD. Okay? So, however, ngayon, sa mainstream media kasi, di ba, ang sinasabi nila ang nagpasimuno daw ng CPD si Trillanes, which is hindi, hindi eh. Trillanes is only the senator na um, na nag-revive or hindi naman sa revive, kumbaga parang kasi nung ngayong time na 'to na nasa 2000s na, pinag-uusapan talaga ang CPD kasi nabuo na kasi yung batas, eh. Kasi una nagsimula yan kay Fidel V. Ramos, meron siyang EO number 266. So sinabi niya na dapat daw magkaroon tayo ng CPD education program, 'di ba? So after the order of the president, nagkaroon ng mga series of drafting ng mga guidelines and implementation. So nagkataon lang na nung time na senator na si Trillanes, drafted na yung mga guidelines, okay na, naayos na yung mga implementing rules and regulation, kaya pinatupad na lang siya. Okay, yun. Pero nang simula talaga siya nung 90s pa, 'di ba? Under kay President Fidel V. Ramos. So sabi dito that the Philippine government has required, 'di ba, all professionals to undergo continuing education programs. This is mandatory in order for you to renew your professional license. So kung wala kang CPD units, definitely no license renewal. Okay? So kailangan siya. Now, the EO was implemented through PRC Resolution number 381 series of 1995, which is the standardized guidelines and procedure for the implementation of the continuing professional education programs for all professions. So nakita nyo ha, 90s pa yan. 1995 pa nasimulan. Hindi lang siya ngayon lang, okay? So, again, so mayroon kang, after that, nagkaroon tayo ng AO number 260, series of 1996. This is the operations of the CPE Council. So when you say CPE Council daw, ito yung governing body or governing organization that will actually organize or supervise the activities of continuing professional education. Now, after that, nagkaroon ng EO number 266. This required the completion of 60 CPE units as a condition for the renewal of license. So noong 1960 daw ang kailangan. So napakalaki, 'di ba? Pero binaba na 'yan eh. Ginawa na lang na 45 units. And then during the time na ni Aquino, nagkaroon na ng RA 912. So naging Republic Act na talaga siya. Naging batas na siya. So from Fidel V. Ramos, ang daming pinagdaan na presidente, just dumaan pa siya kay Erap, kay Gloria, and then hanggang dumaan kay Pinoy. So, sa Pinoy nag-finalize niyan. Okay? So, RA 10912 mandated the strengthening of CPD program for all regulated professions and the creation of CPD Council for each profession. Ibig sabihin daw noon, kada isang profession, meron siyang CPD Council. So when you say CPD Council, ito yung organization or the body in charge of how to implement the CPE sa mga different profession. Sila yung nagre-regulate ng mga trainings and seminar. So for example, yung Fatima, kunyari yung OLFO, gusto nilang mag-provide ng isang seminar na merong CPD units, 'di ba? Anong gagawin ni OLFO? Mag-a-apply siya ng approval from the CPD Council. So yung council na yon, sila yung nag-check ng activities ng mga OLFO kung okay ba itong bigyan ng CPE units. So kapag okay bigyan ng CPE units, then definitely pwede na mag-conduct ng training ang OLFO. Okay? So ganun ang trabaho ng CPD Council. Sila yung nag-a-approve ng mga CPD activities na yan at nagbibigay ng corresponding units. Now, so this is implemented on March 15, 2017 upon the effectivity of the PRC Resolution number 1032 or the implementing rules and regulations of RA 10912. So naka-upload ito class sa Canvas nyo, yung mga batas na yan, pakibasa na lang siya. Pero later, di-discuss ko naman yung mga important parts doon. So this is your RA 10912, 'di ba? Yan siya. So according to this one, the CPD was defined as the inculcation of advanced knowledge, skills, and ethical values in a post-licensure specialization or an inter or multidisciplinary field of study for assimilation into professional practice, self-directed research, or lifelong learning. Okay? So again, kapag daw development na or CPD na, ibig sabihin niyan, nagkaroon ka na, nagkaroon ka na ng advanced knowledge, skills, and ethical values. Okay? And then you're able to get that through self-directed research or lifelong learning. When you say lifelong learning naman, this refers to learning activities undertaken throughout the life for the development of competencies and qualification of the professional. So ano ba yung nangyayari kapag merong mga CPD training and workshop? Ano ba yung structure niya? So nagsisimula pa rin siya sa lecture and discussion from the expert. Tulad ng ginagawa sa klase, 'di ba? Merong discussion yung prof. Sa CPD naman, meron ding discussion yung expert. Okay? Then after ng discussion ng expert, pwede siya magbigay ng mga exams. Meron siya mga pa-quiz din doon naman, mga short quiz lang naman. And then after niya magbigay ng quiz, pwedeng magbigay siya ng hands-on training. Okay, pwede 'yon. Depende kasi sa training na meron. Ngayon, kung yung training na kung yung seminar na pinuntahan mo, plain seminar lang na lecture lang, magpapa-quiz lang 'yan tapos uwian na. Gano'n lang 'yon, 'di ba? Pero kapag 'yan ay seminar workshop, 'di ba? So, ibig sabihin ng seminar workshop, meron munang discussion sa expert, tapos magbibigay siya ng quiz, and then magbibigay siya ng activity. So, para ka nasa eskwelahan din, 'di ba? Meron siya mga practicals na pina-practice mo yung skills na discuss niya. Okay? So, gano'n ang structure ng mga CPD programs na 'yan. So, ano ba ang purpose? So, bakit gano'n? Bakit meron tayong CPD programs? In order to, number one, enhance and upgrade the competencies and qualification of the professionals para makasabay tayo sa ASEAN. Okay? Yun talaga pinaka-goal diyan, para maging globally competitive tayo. Okay? Also ensure international alignment 'yan, international alignment of competencies and qualification. So ibig sabihin noon kapag nag-apply ka sa USA, meron kang mga enough certificates of trainings and seminars para masabi na marunong ka. Kasi class, yung mga gamit doon sa ibang bansa, high-tech 'yan, 'di ba? So kailangan mo talaga ng training in order for you to use those high-tech machines, 'di ba? 'Yun. So kung may certificate ka na marunong ka ng mga makina na 'yan, edge mo 'yan kapag nag-apply ka sa trabaho abroad. Now, ensure also the development of quality assured mechanisms for the validation, accreditation, and recognition of formal, non-formal, and informal learning outcomes, including the professional work experience and prior learning. So, ginawa daw ang guidelines na ito, ang implementing rules and regulation, to make sure that yung mga trainings and seminars is of quality. Hindi naman basa-basa na kung sino lang mag-organize sa mga training, di ba? Dapat quality yan, di ba? Ensure maintenance of core competencies and development of advanced and new competencies in order to respond to national, regional, and international labor market needs. So, itong letter D, related din siya sa letter B na nagpapatraining ka na nabibigay ka ng mga competency sa mga medtech para maging globally competitive siya. 'Di ba? Depende yan sa needs of the labor market, whether international yan, national or regional. And then, also, recognize and ensure the contributions of professionals in uplifting the general welfare, economic growth, and development of the nation. So, CPD aims to, number one, again, improve the quality of the country's reservoir of registered professionals. Ibig sabihin ng class, kapag yung mga professional natin well-trained, di ba, they are all competent. Kasi nga, knowledgeable sila sa mga bagong trends in the field, di ba? So, alam nila yung mga latest scientific, technological, ethical, and other applicable trends in the local and global practice of the profession. Of course, provide support to lifelong learning and the enhancement of competencies of Filipino professional towards delivery of quality ethical services both locally and globally. Ngayon, sabi diyan, provide support daw. Ito daw yung aim ng CPD, ng government natin, to provide support for lifelong learning. However, itong part na providing support to lifelong learning, hindi pa nila nai-implement talaga, 'di ba? Kasi nga naman, tulad nga sa ibang bansa, 'di ba? The government provides support talaga sa lifelong learning mga professionals. Subsidize. Sagot ng gobyerno nila, 'di ba? But in the Philippines, meron ba mga training na sagot ng government for the professionals? Siguro meron yung mga provided ng DOH. So medyo mura-mura siya, 'di ba? Yung mga training na nanggagaling sa government agency, medyo mura siya, pero hindi siya libre. Magbabayad ka pa rin. Okay? 'Yon. And also deliver quality CPD activities aligned with the Philippine Qualification Framework for National and Global Comparability and Competitiveness. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nito, class, is that yung mga activities natin, mga trainings and seminars natin, dapat align sa mga practices sa global level. Okay? Yun. And then, ano ba yung CPD Council natin? Sabi ko nga kayo na, yung CPD Council, ito yung organization that actually oversees. So, di nag-oversee kung paano ba ini-implement ang CPD sa ating profession. Okay? Sila rin yung nag-a-approve kung ang isang seminar ba or training ba is pwede ba siyang bigyan ng CPD units, di ba? Pwede ba siyang i-endorse na dito kayo mag-training kasi okay ito, di ba? Magandang training ito. Bibigyan kayo ng CPD units. Right? The one who regulates that is the CPD Council. So sabi dito, they are tasked to oversee the implementation of the CPD program of the profession, including the evaluation and monitoring of the CPD programs. So they are composed of the following. So kailangan ng member from the Philippine Regulatory Board as chair. Okay? So yung Philippine Regulatory Board, ito yung mga nagbibigay ng board exam. Okay? So yung nagbibigay ng board exam sa METE, kasama rin siya dito. And then, again is the president or officer of an accredited professional organization as first member, and president or officer of the National Organization of Deans of Departments, chairperson of schools, colleges, or university offering the course as the second member. So sa atin, sa METEC, the first member is PAMET president and the second member is the PASMET president. Tapos yung chair nila yung sa board ng medtech sa PRC. Yung nagbibigay ng board exam. Okay? Yon. So, yun ang mga composition ng ating CPD Council. Again, the member from the PRB as the chair, and then the president of PAMET as the first member, and the president of PASMET as the second member. Okay. Again, second member is president, PASMET president. Ito. Mali ako dito. Baguhin ko na lang siya later. This is PASMET president. Again, they are tasked to oversee the implementation of the CPD program. So ano ba yung mga procedure dito for accreditation as a CPD provider, 'di ba? So, kunyari, yung OLFU gusto niyang mag-apply to become a licensed CPD provider. So, these are the following steps. So, kailangan niya muna ng application forms. Then, after application forms, you're going to fill that out and then comply with the requirements or documents. They should file that in 3 copies. And then, of course, proceed to the standards and inspection division processing window, pay the fee, mga 5,000, and then submit the application form with attached supporting documents and 3 photocopies. So, in short class, itong mga steps na yan, nandun yan sa PDF na in-upload ko. Ito yung implementing rules and regulations nila. So, in short, kailangan mo nang mag-fill up ng form, and then kailangan mong ilagay doon yung mga attachment ng ano ba yung mga relevant attachment na kailangan mong ilagay? Well, of course, information about your organization. Bakit ba kayo kailangan i-recognize ng council as an accredited CPD provider, 'di ba? So any documents that will actually justify your qualifications can do that. Pwede naman. And then you're going to pay the fee and then you're going to submit the application. So for the foreign, ganun din naman, halos similar lang naman din ang process. And then, for the CPD program, so pwede kasi class na ang isang organization, kunyari ang OLFO, pwede silang mag-provide ng CPD program kahit hindi sila accredited. Pwede yun. As long as yung program na provided nila is pasok sa standards ng CPD Council. So, ganun pa rin yung process, mag-a-apply sila. So, ganun din, fill up the form, submit the documents, and then pay the 1,000 pesos. Yon, ganun lang siya. Ngayon, ito naman yung procedure for crediting of self-directed or lifelong learning. Ibig sabihin nito, class, yung METIC mismo ang mag-a-apply nito. Okay? Kunyari, yung METIC nag-attend siya ng seminar na hindi naman recognized na meron siyang CPD units. Pwede niya pa rin i-apply yon sa PR, sa council, di ba? So, kailangan gawin nung METIC? Of course, kailangan niya mag-fill up ng application form. And then, kailangan niyang mag-process ng form niya. Ilagay niya yung attachment ng kanyang training tungkol saan ba yung training ngayon. And then, the METIC is going to pay 1,000 pesos and then they're going to submit all of that documents. So, ganun yung class. Pwede yun na mag-attend ka ng seminar na hindi naman talaga siya accredited ng ating organization. Pero kung sa tingin mo, related siya sa field natin na meron ka natutunan, pwede mo siyang i-apply for CPD units. So, sino ba yung mga accredited na CPD providers in the Philippines? So, these are the accredited CPD providers. So, medyo marami siya, class. Pakibasa na lang ito, okay? So, sa atin sa Region 3, we have the DOH, Region 3. Yan, nagbibigay lagi yan ng mga seminars and trainings. Pwede rin sa EUF, pero may bayad yan. Mahalang bayad dyan, class. Pero yung sa Region 3, sa DOH, may bayad din, pero minsan libre. Actually, minsan libre. Yan. And then, of course, sa Metro Manila naman, yan, St. Luke's Medical Center sa Quezon City. Yan, laging merong pa seminar yan. Also, yung ano rin, yung RITM, and also yung mga NRL natin, UST, FUCEU, PBCC, PCQACL. And of course, the PAMET and the PASMET. So, those are example of CPD providers in the Philippines. So again, to renew your license, kailangan mo na 45 units ng CPD, which is 15 units per year for a period of 3 years. So during that time na nagkaroon ng implementation nito, nagkaroon sila ng mga grace period, 'di ba? So during 2017 daw na June, hindi pa daw kailangan. Pero pagdating ng December, at least 30% nung 45 units meron ka na. So by 2018, at least 60% meron ka na. And then by 2019 onwards, at least 100% meron ka na 45 units. Okay? So when you graduate, required ka na mag-undergo ng 100% training. That will give you 45 units in order for you to renew your license. So ano ba yung mga pwede mong gawing activities na pwedeng pagkuhanan ng CPD units? So, una-una, kapag ikaw ay nag-attend ng mga seminar, 'di ba? So participant ka, 'di ba? So yung CPD units mo, depende 'yon sa approved CPE of that program. For example, PAMET convention, nag-attend ka ng PAMET convention. Nagbayad ka ng 8,000 pesos for the PAMET convention. Ang tawag sa iyo ay participant. Nag-attend ka kasi. Tapos, yung CPD unit ng PAMET na yan, only 30 units, 'di ba? So, may kulang ka pa rin na 15 units, right? Saan mo kukunin yung kulang na 15 units? Sa iba pang mga trainings and seminars. So, ano yung kailangan mong ibigay na document? Of course, the certificate of attendance with number of hours, seminar program, and list of participants. Okay? Now, kapag naman ikaw, professional ka, na-invite ka as resource speaker, credited siya as 3 units per hour. Diba? Kunyari, nag-speak ka for 3 hours. So, 3 times 3, 9. So, meron ka ng 9 units. Okay, yun siya. Now, panelist or reactor. So, meron ka ng 2 CU per hour. Facilitator or moderator, 1 CU per hour. So, ibig sabihin niyan, kunyari, naging moderator ka for 3 hours. So, meron ka ng 3 units. Yun ang example. So, for them as a monitor din and also in-service training. So, ito yung mga ways na pwede mong gawin to get the CPD units. Another thing sa academic track, so nag-aral ka daw, di ba? So kapag nag-masters ka or nag-doctorate ka, full CPD units na siya. So kailangan mo lang ibigay yung diploma and TOR mo. And then if you become a professorial chair, so naging ano ka, professor ka, so 15 units yan per year. Residency or externship training, that is 10 units per year. If you undergo a fellowship grant, you have 2, 4, and 5. And then for the postgraduate diploma, you have maximum of 30 credit units for 18-month period. Now, for the self-directed learning, ibig sabihin ng self-directed, ito yung training offered by non-accredited CPD providers. It can either be a face-to-face or online. So, kunyari, nag-train ka sa nag-attend ka ng training sa abroad, di ba, sa Amerika. Pero hindi naman siya recognized ng Pilipinas kasi, di ba, nasa Amerika yun eh. Hindi naman yung PAMET, right? So, pwede mo pa rin siyang i-credit. So, kapag participant ka, credit the units for the program is evaluated by the CPD Council. So, again, kailangan mong ipasa yung mga documents mo sa pag-attend sa training na yan, and then the CPD Council is going to decide kung ilang units ba ang bibigyan nila sa'yo. As a resource speaker, 3 units din, and panelist, 2 units per hour. Okay? So those are example kapag self-directed. And then ito pa, self-directed din to, kasama rin siya. Kapag naging moderator ka, in-service training, program training, module development, or technical paper. When you say technical paper, ito yung mga research papers na na-publish sa mga journals. So kapag daw meron kang isang na-publish na paper sa journal, meron kang 5 units na. Okay? So kapag daw nakapag-publish ka sa local, 10 units, kapag international, 15 units. Kapag naman nag-review ka ng mga journal article, 2 units per article. Okay? Yun siya. So that is how you're going to get the CPE. Now, for the authors naman, of a book, nagsulat ka ng libro, 20 CPE units yan. For single author for pamphlet, less than 100 pages. Kapag more than 100 pages, meron kang 40 units. So, naging editor ka, meron kang 20 units. You're able to contribute in an article in magazine or newspaper, 5 units per article. Nakapag-invent ka, di ba? Nag-invent ka, full credit units na yan. So, nag-undergo ka ng study tour or visits, you have 2 units per day. Naging consultant ka, 1 unit yan. Social civic activities like outreach program or medical mission, 1 unit pa rin yan. Recognition or title like a fellow, Hall of Fame, award, outstanding profession, meron kang tatanggap na award, di ba? Na related sa field natin, then full credit na siya. Okay? So, that's how you're going to get the CPD units. So, sabi dito, if the professional attended a seminar that was not recognized by the CPD provider, he can apply the said training or seminar to the CPD Council. Sabi ko nga kayo na, pwede naman. Pwede naman mag-attend ka ng seminar abroad. Pero kailangan mong i-apply yung approval niya sa CPD Council para ma-recognize siya. So, yung processing niya, tatagal siya ng mga 60 days. Ganun katagal ang processing bago mo makuha kung ilan ba yung units na credited. So, if yung professional hindi siya makapag-complete ng required CPD, makukuha niya ba yung license niya? Yes, makukuha niya. Pero dapat magpipirma siya ng affidavit of undertaking. Sa undertaking na yon, nangangako siya na matatapos niya yung CPD sa susunod na cycle, 'di ba? So, kunyari ngayon 0 CPD ka. So, sa next cycle, kailangan mo makakomplete ng ilan na 80 na, 'di ba? 80 CPD units kasi 45 for this na mismo and then 45 for the next renewal. So hangga't di ka talaga nagsi-CPE, dumadami ng dumadami yung number of units na kailangan mong kunin. So ganun talaga siya. Kailangan mo talaga siyang kunin kasi batas siya. Okay, so that is the lesson for this week. Do you have any questions about the lesson? I'm going to stop recording. Ayan.